Hello and a warm welcome to All This Week by latestlaws.com. This is a weekly program, so hit the bell icon to get notification for new videos. My name is Sheetal June and I will be taking you through significant orders and judgments passed by various courts in the country and some important international news from this week. Let's begin with Supreme Court this week. Journalism cannot be prosecuted as terrorism, 16 media organizations has said in a letter to Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, urging him to take cognizance and intervene before it's too late. The letter came in wake of the raid at the houses of several journalists and other professionals employed at and associated with the news portal NewsClick, leading to seizures to their mobile phones and laptops. It urges the judiciary to step in and formulate guidelines to discourage the seizure of journalists' phones and laptops on a whim, as has been in the case. It demands guidelines for interrogation of journalists and forced seizure from them to ensure that these are not undertaken as fishing expedition with no bearing to the actual offence. The Supreme Court has sought response from both Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh government on a PIL that alleged distribution of cash and other freebies ahead of polls in the states scheduled later this year. The Apex Court has said that it will hear the arguments on November 20th in a petition challenging the constitutional validity of a provision of the anti-graft law which mandates obtaining prior sanction from the competent authority before launching an inquiry against a public servant in a corruption case. Noting that a dying declaration taken days after the incident cannot be wholly reliable as chances of it being influenced or tutored are highly likely, the Supreme Court has acquitted a man charged with dowry harassment case. Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, the second most senior judge of the Supreme Court and executive chairman of the National Legal Services Authority, on Monday has launched a nationwide campaign to expedite the identification and review of prisoners who are eligible to be considered for release. The Supreme Court has said that it will hear on Monday the arguments and petitions challenging the premature release of 11 convicts in the Bilkis Bano gang rape case and murder of 7 of her family members during the 2002 Gujarat riots. Now let's have an overview of High Courts. The Delhi High Court has ruled that a question posed in the Delhi Higher Judicial Services exam need not necessarily refer to the statute or law it is based on and that hints provided therein are sufficient to make it valid. The Bombay High Court has upheld the acquittal of a medical officer who faced bribery charges under the Prevention of Corruption Act 1988 in a case previously tried by a sessions judge. The Bombay High Court has dismissed an appeal challenging the appellant's conviction under the POCSO Act for sexually assaulting a 14-year-old in 2015. In its judgment, the court outlined the significance of the victim's testimony and the legal framework for the age determination of a victim. The Delhi High Court has on Thursday awarded Rs 50,000 compensation to a man who was illegally detained by the police officers for half an hour. The compensation amount will be recovered from the salaries of the 2 police officers. The Delhi High Court has issued notice to police on petitions challenging the arrest of NewsClick founder Praveer Pratyaksh and Human Resource Department head Amit Chakravarti in a case lodged under anti-terror law UAPA. The Calcutta High Court has quashed criminal proceedings initiated against the petitioner by her husband. The High Court's decision sheds light on the intersection of familial dynamics, marital disputes and the responsibility of caring of aging parents. Moving on to international news this week. Former US President Donald Trump went on trial for fraud in a civil case against him and his family business. In his opening statement, Kevin Wallace, a lawyer in the State Attorney General's office, has said that Donald Trump described his finances to banks and insurers in a materially inaccurate way for a decade. Before entering the courtroom, Donald Trump, the frontrunner for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, said that this is a continuation of the single greatest witch hunt of all time. Russia's largest brewery company has filed a lawsuit to drag the Danish brewer Carlsberg to court to prevent the firm from terminating a license agreement for some of its popular brands in Russia. Carlsberg Group's Russian unit Baltika was acquired by the Russian government in August after the company pulled out in response to the ongoing war in Russia. The business was transferred to Russia's Federal Property Management Agency as Western nations slapped a barrage of sanctions against Moscow, promoting the foreign firms to close down businesses. American singer and songwriter Katy Perry, who has had a history with housing lawsuits, this time has inspired a housing bill called the Katy Perry Act. She and her husband Orlando Bloom are involved in a legal battle with an 84-year-old veteran who was a previous owner of a $15 million Santa Barbara mansion they bought in July 2020. In the end, we have miscellaneous news. During a hearing, CJ Diva Chandrachud has referred to the significant increase in the number of women judicial officers and said that it was a countrywide trend. At the outset of the proceedings, CJ said that we wish to share some happy news here in the back row. We have 75 judges from the Civil Judge Junior Division from Maharashtra. Out of the batch of 75 judges, 42 are women and 33 are men. Competition Commission of India has approved acquisition of majority stake in Indira IVF by zone bars and amalgamation of Spaceway Wellness into Indira IVF. CBI court has granted life imprisonment to 9 accused in a case related to riots at Kumbher, Rajasthan. Supreme Court Judge Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, who participated in the 12th International Legal Forum of the Asia-Pacific region, has promoted India as an arbitration-friendly destination, stating that judicial interference in the country is minimal. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. This is a weekly program, and to get more information, please check the description box, and for weekly updates, like and subscribe to our channel.